Hi, it's Shaughnessy here to talk about the next daily drumming influence revisited. Again, these were originally posted in 2012. I did one for every day of the year, and I'm going to revisit that and talk about it. And today it is Ed Shaughnessy. Ed Shaughnessy was the drummer for Johnny Carson's Tonight Show band. I guess I got to clarify that, which was like a jazz big band. And I used to stay up late and watch Johnny Carson all the time. One, to hear the band play before the commercials and everything. And originally, Johnny Carson's show was an hour and a half. They later cut it to an hour. But the band would often get, when it was an hour and a half, be featured on a tune. And watching Ed play was great. He had a big double bass kit. I think back in the day it was Pearl, and I think he eventually went to Ludwig. But I was just really impressed. Again, back in the day, you didn't have music videos and things like that. You saw performances on television, or you listened to the radio. And I was really taken by Ed Shaughnessy's playing, and I was a huge big band drumming fan because my original teacher, Chuck Simons, was a former big band drummer as well. So I remember a couple of different things specifically of it being featured, but I know one time he and Buddy Rich got to trade solos and whatnot. Ed was very aggressive in his playing and really heavy with that particular band. Years later, out of nowhere, Dave Wells, who was the director of the marching band at Murray State at the time, brought in Ed Shaughnessy to do a clinic for a Quad State music festival thing. And at that time, he was a Ludwig drummer. And Dave gives me a picture of Ed Shaughnessy, a black and white picture of Ed behind his drums. And he said, "Can you set this setup to look like that?" And I walk into this room, and there's all Ed's drums in cases. Had an ES on them and everything. So I set the drum up like the picture best I could. And I was sitting back there playing on it. And in walks Ed Shaughnessy. And I was like, "Oh, sorry," But he was really cool about it. He actually autographed the picture for me. And that was the first time I actually got to meet him. Years later, Dave Wells, at the time then, was the director at Boise State University and brought Ed Shaughnessy out to Boise State to be a guest artist for a thing called Night with the Blue Thunder. The Blue Thunder was the name of the marching band at Boise State. So Ed Shaughnessy again got to meet and hang with Ed again a little bit. I wasn't part of the playing of that concert, but I did get to meet him and whatnot. And then I would run into Ed pretty much almost every year at PASIC, Percussive Art Society International Convention. I got my picture made with him several times and whatnot. Ed was a character. He had these big square glasses and these big mutton chop sideburns, and he always had like a huge turquoise necklace hanging. And he had some signature sticks that I played for a while. I think they were from ProMark back in the day. And anyway, that look, he had a signature symbol from Sabian for a while, and the outline of his little afro with his mutton chops and his square glasses became the logo on the symbol. It was pretty cool. But Ed was very versatile, and again, kind of on the aggressive side, a lot of the rudimental licks like a Buddy Rich type thing, but actually used a lot more toms than a lot of the Buddy Rich style things, where Buddy would just do some tricks on the toms. Ed would play on the toms a lot. He usually had a lot more. He eventually got into this Middle Eastern, Indian type of rhythmic stuff, where they would use syllables for counting, takadimi, and Ed would do these clinics, and he would sing rhythms and then play the rhythms. And he got really into that, the subdividing of how the Middle Eastern Indian playing would use the syllables to play odd times, and then Ed would use those and then do it. And several people have done it since then, but Ed Shaughnessy was the first one of the, I guess you would say, mainstream American drummers that I remember doing that. So anyway, huge influence on me. Again, I was lucky enough to meet him quite a few times and to get an autographed picture, and it is hanging on the wall inside where my other ones are as one of my influential drummers. And Ed passed away several years ago now, but if you stopped and talked to him, he would always talk to you and say hi and everything like that. So anyway, drumming influence for today, revisited, it is Ed Shaughnessy.